he's parked right there, so it's like hostages.
Yeah.
Sausages. We're just coming on to La Manga now. It just looks so plush with all the palm trees everywhere. Got the brilliant La Manga sign as you come in. Oh, Gary's found the G. Is it just me, or do you think this looks miles bigger than you were expecting?
It does. It's very built up.
It's really built up. It's really interesting, actually. We'll have a look at house prices for you as well. Made a bit of lunch. We're just having salad for our lunch. I'll show you what we're having. Made Gary a bit of sardine salad. He loves sardines. And I've got some tuna fish salad. And I have a lovely sea view. Outside an estate agent's, and there's some really differing prices. But some of them are quite cheap. They're quite reasonable for this area, aren't they?
They are, aren't they?
Got one there at 129. And that's a 2-bedroom, is it, Gary?
Yes, that's 2-bedroom.
There's a 2-bedroom there. They're all different prices. But 158 will get you something like this. It has a rooftop view. This one has got 3 bedrooms. There's a garage there for sale for 22,000. This is a beautiful house, and this is it's got its own swimming pool. 395,000. It's been reduced from 410. 4 bedrooms, a bar, 2 bathrooms, 200 meters squared. It's really pretty. More higher end of the market, you've got one here for 750,000 right on the waterfront. Really, that's a little bargain. 115,000, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. It probably hasn't got a sea view, but it's got a shared. So you were reading some really interesting stuff about La Manga, weren't you?
Yeah, so it sort of started 10 million years ago when the bit of land that La Manga is built on rose from the seabed through tectonic plate movements. So that's when it first sort of came above the sea level. Now, there are villages or remnants of villages that have been found on La Manga dating back to 1500 BC. So there's been people here, although not permanently, for quite some time. It wasn't until the sort of 11th and 12th centuries that people started to live here fully. And then so basically this strip of land used to be full of vegetation. And in the late 16th century, the Barbary pirates used to hide on the Mar Menor. They'd have lookouts, and when a ship sailed past, they would scoot out of the Mar Menor, come up behind it, and obviously rob it of all its wealth and goods.
Really?
Now what that led to was the government of the day at the time, they then burnt or razed everything to the ground so that it was just flat and you could see across from the Mar Menor into the Med. So that obviously didn't happen anymore. But it wasn't until the 1963 that buildings were first built on here.
Yeah.
And 1966 was the first high-rise building. Now, the La Manga itself is 21 kilometres from bottom to the top. The first 3.5 kilometres is actually controlled by the Cartagena Council, and the last bit up to the 21 kilometre point from the 3.5 kilometre point is controlled by the San Javier. Now, it used to be when they first started in the early 70s that both councils had spoken, and they'd said, right, because of it being a real tourist area, we're actually not going to allow it to be built 100 metres from the coast on either side, so that there's beaches and there's lots of recreational area. So that was fine up until the sort of 80s when the Council of Cartagena started to look the other way, one would presume, for various reasons. And then the Council of San Javier followed suit. So now there isn't that 100-metre buffer on either side. It is literally side to side built on. Now it's 1.5 kilometres at its widest.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of buildings there.
And Gary was saying that there is about a 5,000 population on La Manga at the last count. Now, what's interesting about that is the first 3.5 kilometres that Gary was explaining there, that has half of the population in. And then the remainder of La Manga has the other 2,500.
And also really interesting was in the year 2000,
Yeah.
that La Manga was the province or was the area in Spain that offered the most hotel rooms to tourists in any one location. And it was over 3,000 hotel rooms were available for rent at any one time here. There was more than any other place in Spain.
Is that still the case?
I don't think it is now, but it certainly was then.
Wow. So the speed limit is 50 along here, isn't it? 50 kilometres an hour. It's relatively quiet. It's a Sunday. And what time are we on, honey? It's about 3 o'clock?
It's just 20 past 3.
20 past 3 in the afternoon. It's pretty quiet at the moment. Really interesting pizza shop over there in the shape of a windmill. Isn't that incredible? So all the way along La Manga, they have these 1 kilometre markers everywhere you go. So we're now at the 8 kilometre point. Isn't that brilliant? Some lovely houses along here as well. And we're about halfway along La Manga here. Does it remind you of the Florida Keys, honey?
I suppose it does really, doesn't it? We see on both sides.
Yeah, it's quite similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, you can see it goes all the way down there, look. Now, we've seen on Park for Night that there is a free park up, isn't there, at the end of La Manga?
Yeah, there's a bay that's got, there's a little car park that's specifically for motorhomes, and there's 15 spaces on it.
Oh, there's only 15 spaces.
Yes.
Are you only allowed to stay there a couple of nights, though?
I didn't see there's limitations, but obviously there's only 15 that would fit, so...
That's the problem with some people. They kick the arse right out of it. They stay for night after night after night, and they don't move on and circulate. Got no problem with somebody like wanting to just stay here for ages and ages, but move a little bit from each side. Otherwise, honestly, that is why they close them down, because they're like, well, these people are starting to put down roots too much. Oh, it's a motorhome. Bus, obviously, that takes you up and down La Manga, I'll bet.
Come alive when we're faded. The summer nights that we're chasing. This feeling to last forever.
Little spot he's found himself. Look, good on him. There's always somewhere you can park, isn't there? Look, he's got a cracking sea view. He's right on the road though, isn't he? But fabulous parking. Yeah, San Javier tourist information box. You can see we're in the San Javier area. Wow, look at that. Looks like a boat. It's a restaurant. That's really good, isn't it? Oh, this is beautiful here.
Yeah,
oh, is this where the harbour is? Oh, it lifts up.
Yeah.
That'd be some sight to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
These are lovely round here, actually. It's quite, look at that. I mean, it has got no balconies, but it's got, everywhere's got a gorgeous view. Gosh, there's a lot of buildings here. We've noticed that quite a few of the shops are open, like certainly like the China bazaars and all that, aren't they?
Yeah.
The supermarket doesn't look open. What I do notice is loads of spas here. It's spa central, isn't it?
It is.
Just saw a motorhome literally just parked by the beach along here. Fabulous spot. We've already said if there isn't a spot, we'll just find somewhere to park for the night. Oh, look, we've got another one. How many kilometres are we? Oh, we're up 15 kilometres along. Gosh, I really like these. I'll tell you what we have noticed. There's a cycle path all the way along this main arterial road. That's absolutely brilliant, and it's quite safe as well for people. Gary says there's a motorhome behind us. We're racing for the pitches. Yeah, some nice little park-ups towards the end, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
And some of these apartments aren't really that well occupied. I think we're getting quite close, because I remember seeing this restaurant 1975. It's a bit younger than me, to be honest. Okay, so we think this is the motorhome area that on La Manga, and you'll see there's a parking sign with a motorhome on it. We're just going to have a quick look, see what it's like. Oh, there's a few up here already, Gary.
There is.
We're hoping there's somewhere we can do a bit of a walk from here. Oh, crikey, it's chock-a-block. We did think it might be.
I think there's a few spaces.
You want a nice sea view though, don't you? And you don't really want to be facing onto someone. So I wouldn't want our front. That's accessible. I just think that's it though. Look, they're not 15 spaces.
It's not, is it?
I think it's full. Look. There's a German one there. All Europeans. Oh, it's all full. That's like you were saying, isn't it? You've got to get in here early. Crikey. I wonder how many days they've been here. Okay. So we can't park here.
Well, there's no bay, but we could park there.
We could park there, but I think, shall we drive up a little bit and see what else we can find?
Green parrots everywhere. I've noticed lots of green parrots on the Manga.
Is there?
Yeah. There's a bunch of them just under the sign over there at the bottom of that tower.
I'll tell you what is nice. There's a little walkway along there as well,
that's lovely,
Gary.
that is.
I don't really want to park there because that'll be our view will be the bin. Gary's sort of suggesting there, but we're kind of thinking no. Oh, anyway, that guy wants to be next to the bin. Leave him to it. He can be next to the bin. What this guy's done, he's parked on that, but that's a yellow. So I wouldn't probably risk going on a yellow.
It does say no parking, doesn't it?
And it does.
No
It's quite clear. It's quite clearly says no parking there. Do you know what I think, babes? I think we go and take a little run up. There's nothing we can do. These are taken. Okay, so as you come sort of just past where that is, you'll come to a very high little bridge. We're not gonna run over that. But that takes you over to the other part of La Manga there, doesn't it? We've been driving for about half an hour now. And we're sort of where the port area is. So we've gone about halfway back down, haven't we? We've seen a few motorhomes that have been savvy and they've already got in. And what they've done is they've just found a little spot out of the way, really. And there's only a few of them along the way, isn't there? So we're still looking. The thing is, we could have parked in loads of spots, but we are hoping for a sea view. That's the problem, isn't it? So we are being fussy. People parking just sort of in various places. There's that fancy boat restaurant again. Okay, how about this for a sea view? So we've just found a disused Chiringuita. It's obviously closed down for the season, perhaps, or it's just closed today. And there's a building site a little bit behind us. I'll show you what it looks like. But wow, that's a proper sea view.
Just goes to show perseverance pays off.
Just off the main road, and just behind us is a bit of a building site, fair enough. But this is a really cute Chiringuita. And this is our sea view for the night. I'm over the moon. This is beautiful, Gary.
Lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice. There's a little bit of a building site there as well, but we're all right. Look, there's your marker at the 10-kilometre marker. It's just the back of that, a little Chiringuita. It's going to have to be out of season, because if it was in season, I'm sure this car park would be taken up. We're pretty sure it's shut up for the season. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, here's your marker, the 10-kilometre thing. You can see us tucked away there. We're over the moon, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we're parked over here, and just a couple of minutes away is this start of a lovely walkway. So we're just going to have a nice walk. Just along, there's some showers as well, but they're not working at the moment, you reckon?
Well, it's out of season, so they've taken the taps off.
Oh, they've taken the taps off. Oh, you could probably twist it though, couldn't you? Don't, Gary, though, for God's sake. So you found a solution for a bit of extra water?
I have, yes.
What'd you do?
The beach taps that you clean your feet
Yeah.
with, there's feet and there's hands.
Yeah.
So I got the funnel, because they come out in a big spray.
Yeah.
So I used the funnel into my 5-litre container, which put it in there, a couple of taps, and 5 litres is filled up. Just put 30 litres in there, 5 litres in the toilet.
Smashing. Did you use the hand one, not the feet one?
I use the hand one. This one comes on the same pipe, to be honest. The feet just means it's a lower down tap. So
Yeah, I know, but I feel much better in knowing it's the hand, not the feet one, thanks. If I'm going to wash my face in it.
The feet are nowhere near it anyway, just on the floor.
It's just the thought, Gary. That's enough for me, thank you. I'm going to get some dinner on in a minute.
Oh,
Are you hungry?
I am.
Simplest of simple meals tonight. We're just having a chili con carne. So there's a car outside and he's just parked revving his engine. I don't know if he lives nearby or something. And this is his car park space.
This isn't access to any, there's no gates here. So.
But why has he just stood there though? He's reversing out now. I don't know. I reckon he's pissed off. What's he doing? I hope he's not going to cut. He's like pulling back to ram us or something.
He's not.
No, he's gone. Oh, he's raging. Maybe this is his love spot. You don't know though, do you? People have like little love spots.
Well, yeah, but not by yourself. Was he by himself?
I don't know. I couldn't see in the car. I wasn't looking that hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've made dinner. Here it is, a nice chili con carne, beautiful, bit of sparkling, and then we've got that lovely sea view to have our dinner. Really nice, as long as that weirdo car doesn't come back. So, seems like this is a popular spot. Those lights you can see out there are another motorhome. I think he swung in. This must be a favourite little spot for people. Where do you reckon he's going to go then?
I think he's going to go to the other side, but I think he's got a big trailer on as well, so he's going to be quite difficult for him to do any reversing, unless he's really good and there's enough space, but I'm not sure there is.
Look at us like sitting in the dark. We're not as in the dark as it looks in here, but yeah. Crikey. I never feel quite comfortable until we've got our head down, do you?
That's right, till we're asleep.
People have stopped moving around, but he obviously knew about this place because he swung straight in. Oh, well. Morning. So, how did we sleep last night?
It was a bit warm.
It was roasting last night, and he was like a furnace. I had literally nothing on top of me at all. I was so hot. We couldn't cool down, could we? And then we noticed that the motorhome that we spotted last night, it stayed overnight at the other side. And they did have a better side.
They did. Well, they went side on, we went front on. And actually where the wind is coming in, they got all the wind, which...
Well, not all the wind. They got the wind coming in their van. You know, they didn't get all the wind in La Manga. But, obviously we haven't slept very well. I mean, I was up and down maybe 4 or 5 times last night.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Gary this morning, one of the things about full-time motorhoming is you get used to it. So you're really sort of used to how you cool down, the temperatures, what you need to do. And because we haven't been in the van living full-time, it's been about 4 months since we've been in the van. We've been moved into a house with loads of air conditioning. It's been a culture shock, isn't it?
Just a bit.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been amazing. The last couple of days, we've been away for 3 days. I feel like I've been away for 3 weeks.
I know, but it is lovely, isn't
But
it?
it's nice. That's what we love about motorhoming. You absolutely take away all your stresses. So you don't think about all the things you need to do in the house. You don't worry about anything.
No.
So Gary and I have taken to doing some stretches in the morning, haven't we?
We have.
So a couple of weeks ago, I sort of said, look, before we have breakfast, should we get up and start doing some stretches and yoga poses sort of thing? And Gary's a bit like, do we have to? But he ran with it, haven't you?
I have.
And we've been going now for about sort of 12 days. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not exactly very good at it or flexible. You know, we are to yoga what that ray gun from Australia is to the Olympics. You know what I mean? So we're not that good or anything. But getting out by the sea first thing this morning and just stretching your body off is lovely.
Yeah, it is.
It was just absolutely magical. But I did notice we're right directly opposite sort of a little island, and Gary was reading about it. What is that?
Oh, so that island across there, so it's 2.5 kilometres away. It looks quite close, actually. But it's called Isla Grossa.
Isla Grossa, the big island.
The big island, yeah.
Yeah.
And right up until the year 2000, it was the Spanish Navy's diver training school.
It's really interesting,
and it's
isn't
now
it?
not. They gave it over to the region of Murcia for environmental projects in 2000.
So one of the other things I noticed when I was walking on the beach, there's these kind of, I don't know what you could call them, like manholes.
Manhole covers,
And I don't know what it is, but you were saying about the sewage, and I wonder if it's anything to do with that. What did you say?
So basically, in the early 70s, up until the early 70s, all the sewage from La Manga went out to sea. Just dumped in the sea, and then in the early 70s they decided to change it. So I suspect that is either the old sewage system or where they've cut off the old sewage system and they're now rerouting it to a managerial plant of some sort.
I do remember years ago, actually, went on holiday with my mum and dad, and I was about 18 and my sister must have been 17, and we'd gone to a place in Spain, it's just more northern Spain, and it had raw sewage outlet times. Now, we didn't really realise this, and I remember being on the beach and the beach was crowded and there was no one in the sea, and me and my sister were we turned up, we were boiling, we're like, oh god, there's no one in the sea, brilliant, let's get in the sea. So we were in the sea, and as we were sort of maybe like splashing around and having fun, I was like, that looks a bit like a sanitary towel. And then there was like poo and everything bobbing around by us. I mean, you're talking proper raw sewage. We were like, it's like really worried we'd swallow some, and everything was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And everybody was just like watching us on the beach like this. Like, look at them couple of idiots. Then a couple of idiot Brits have gone in there at sewage outlet time. Oh my gosh! So you live and learn, don't you?
It must be great for your tan, though.
Oh! I never tan, do I? Joking aside, quirky. I could be living in Spain for 4 months. This is as brown as it gets. Gary, one hour in the sun looks like that. So we're going to head off this morning, aren't we?
We are.
We've had such a lovely break, haven't we?
It's been great, hasn't it?
It's only been 3 days, and we're really fortunate that we can kind of just come out, and La Manga is about an hour and a half's drive from our house. So we're probably going to head off home today because you checked out the weather, and this is the reason why we came a bit earlier than planned, isn't it?
Yeah, the storms are going to hit here tonight.
So we kind of need to be home. We'll probably stop on the way, have a bit of lunch, I think. We noticed that the Chiringuita next door is open. We should buy a coffee or something.
I think we should, yeah.
It's parked right there, so it's like hostages.
Yeah.
Sausages. We're the sausages here now. I'll show you why we're hostages. The little Chiringuita there's open. Got a couple of people having a coffee, but park the car and the motorbike. We're going to have to squeeze right past that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We're going to pop to the little Chiringuita, actually, just to spend a few quid there. We always think that's quite nice, you know. Looks lovely. It's right by the beach. Gary fancies an ice cream, don't you?
Yes.
This is the little Chiringuita with all the bits on. Look, we found one of these and we just love these. So we're going to sit under here and have a drink. Oh, it feels really paradisey, doesn't it? This is so nice. So what did we get in the end? We just got a coffee.
We got coffee and I got an ice cream.
How much was it?
The ice cream was $3.50.
Oh, that's all right.
And the coffees, there wasn't a price, so I think they're about €2.
Oh, you haven't paid?
I've not paid.
All right, so it's only, we will spend less than €10, but sometimes, you know what, you've got to support these little things because otherwise they'll go. So we like to, and it's just nice anyway, got gorgeous sea view. So we'll have to try and get out of here, but you know, as we are the sausages in the corner, that's it for this time, and we've got another trip planned very soon, so I hope that you'll join us on that one. We're heading up to Gibraltar. We've got a couple of friends in that area and we've lived in Gibraltar, so we love Gibraltar. So if you're looking for a bit of a Costa del Sol run and you want to find out a little bit more about what we're up to, why don't you hit that subscribe button? It's completely free, even though it uses the word subscribe. It just means that you can follow us along on our journey. And please like, share, comment, whatever you want to do, just to help us grow a little bit and show us that you actually are enjoying watching these vlogs. Take care, everyone. We love you loads. Thanks for watching. Ciao.